Hi, so today I'm going to show you how to do a really lightweight look for when you're on the beach on your holidays. Starting off, first of all, really important to get a lot of hydration onto your skin before you apply your SPF. If you're going to be out in the sun or any kind of weather-beaten environment, you want to make sure you've got a lot of comfort. So starting first of all by applying a lovely warm veil of hydration onto the skin, rather than using basic moisturiser. Before you go to the beach, if you apply an intensive hydration mask, it's going to give prolonged hydration and comfort onto the skin right throughout the day, and also allow any makeup that you apply to stay in place. So what this is going to do is restore the water into the skin and retain the water right throughout the day. Rather than using anything like foundation, I think it's always better, a really good tip would be to use something like a beauty balm or a BB cream, which are very popular at the moment. What these are going to do on your skin is give you the lightweight sensation of a tinted moisturiser, but give you the coverage of a foundation, so they're lasting, they're staying in place. So I'm going to apply the BB cream with my fingertips rather than with a brush, because you're trying to create this lightweight, barely there makeup that's giving you coverage without looking too much on the skin. A really subtle way to enhance your complexion for your beach look is to mix a little bit of a fluid illuminator into your beauty balm to give a bit more of a dewy effect. Make sure your beauty balm has a high SPF. This one I'm using here has an SPF 30. So using your fingers, apply the product on and then really massage and smooth out across the skin. What this is going to do, rather than applying with your foundation brush, is work the product into the skin and create what I like to call a skin-on-skin effect. If you can see there, suddenly the skin is glowing, it's packed full of water, but doesn't look overloaded with makeup. It shouldn't feel overloaded either, it should feel very, very fresh on the surface for my lovely model here. Try and get a concealer that has a high level of water, but also a high level of pigment. The one that I'm using is a mineralized concealer that has mineral pigment which will hold in place and high water content to keep the skin fresh. A really good way to apply your concealer is if you have an old eyeshadow brush that you no longer use, to wash the eyeshadow brush, look up there for me, and use that to apply your concealer, because the natural hair fibres will buff the concealer right into the skin rather than synthetic fibres which will layer it onto the skin. But what you want to be doing when you are applying your beach look is as minimal product as possible and as fresh as possible. We don't want to look like we're going to a nightclub. It's about creating a subtle, enhanced complexion. I'm also going to just take a small amount of concealer across the eyelids just to eliminate any discoloration. The skin is much finer there, so it just takes the edge off. Okay. Before I warm up the complexion with a little bit of bronzer, what I want to do is bring a little bit of structure into the eyebrows, just to give them some definition, and then we'll warm up the complexion before applying any eye products. For me, I always do eyebrows before this section. The reason I do that is your eyebrows give you a lot of structure to the face, they give you definition, and they almost become the guideline for the rest of the intensity of the eye makeup. So using a brow product really can change the look of the whole face. Okay, so I'm going to take a light dusting of bronzer across the complexion. Again, we're not overloading the skin. This is just to add a little bit more of that sun-kissed effect for being at the beach. This is a multi-tonal bronze. I'm a big fan of multi-tonal bronzers. What they tend to do is they give you a much more natural, warmed effect on the skin rather than block colour. And really, you're just taking it to the high points on the face, so across the cheeks. We're not sculpting with this, we're using it just to give a little bit of warmth. At the temples, down the nose, and then across the chin. And it's up to you how much you want to build that. You are going to be out in the sun, so you can be quite liberal with the intensity of this. Curling your eyelashes can make a huge difference to the effect your mascara gives, but the main trick with this is to pulse your lash curlers rather than gripping tightly. Lash curlers are something that is really worth spending your money on. The more high quality, the better the result. So I'm going to do mascara before I do eyeliner now, and this seems a little bit backwards. The reason I like to do this is sometimes when you apply your mascara, it will be just enough. You might not need to use your eyeliner, so don't feel for the sake of it you need to put it on. Waterproof mascara, definitely for anything at the beach, because it will be warmer, you will be experiencing more humidity, so you want to make sure it lasts. And when you work with your mascara, if it's going to be a minimal makeup, make sure you get it right into the root of the lash, and you're using it as a styling product. So don't just use it to colour the lash. Lift the brush up and out, and what it'll do is it'll groom the lash and give you a lovely fanned effect. I'm not going to use any mascara underneath the eye. I don't want to overload the eye, and if you put too much underneath the eye for a more natural look like this, it can end up looking quite dull-like, so we're going to use a little bit of liner underneath to give definition rather than using the mascara. Waterproof eye pencil. Amazing for anything that good when you're going to be in warm heat or the rain, I suppose, but for a beach look like this, I'm going to just smolder this around the entire eye line to give us definition, to give intensity, but still keeping that barely there fresh look for when you're at the beach. And when you're applying your waterproof eye pencil, you can apply it straight from the pencil. However, if you use a liner brush and smudge it on, you create a soft smolder rather than a severe line. Okay, now for the lips on a look like this, again, you want to try and keep your products as minimal as possible. So I'm going to use a really sheer lip balm that has a subtle tint to it. And what this will do is give a natural colour on the lip. A lot of hydration and comfort for sun exposure. If you can get one with an SPF, that's even better. But to minimise the amount of products that you're bringing with you in your beach bag, you take exactly the same product on your ring finger, smile, and apply it directly onto the apple of the cheeks. And what that does is pops a sheer blush effect onto your cheeks without having to overload with powder, because you want your skin to look as fresh and radiant as possible. And literally that is you ready to go hit the beach and surf some waves.